Hey guys, so this video is going to be about the book that I recently finished called The Land of Stories: The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer. I want to start this video by saying off that I really enjoyed the book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Within this book review, you will find two sections, the non-spoiler section and the spoiler section. There will be a part of the video that will say spoilers up ahead or something like that, and that's the time when I recommend you to leave this video and come back after you read the book. So to start off the first portion of this video, I'm going to start off by saying that this book is about two twins, Alex and Connor Bailey, who one of the twins activates a portal to the Land of Stories, which is in a book that their grandmother gave them for their 12th birthday. Both twins end up falling into the book and they end up landing into the Land of Stories, this world that they loved when they were little. Within the Land of Stories, they see so many different characters and so many characters that they know and love, with different storylines, with the ends of their stories, the way it ended up being after they got married, and on and so forth. Within their time in the Land of Stories, their fear is that they're not going to be able to get home, but then they meet this one character, and this one character gives them a list of 8 things that they need to find to get back home. When all 8 items are collected, it's known as a wishing spell. The wishing spell will have to be activated in order for the two twins to get back home. So that's pretty much it for the non-spoiler section of this video. So now let's get into the spoiler section in this video. So for those of you who have not read the book and who are planning on reading the book, please, I am begging you to please exit out this video, read the book, come back, and then you can hear me talk about the book, and you can talk about it with me in the comments below. So for the spoiler section of this video, I just want to start off by saying that this book is recommended to anyone who loves or loved fairy tales, and to anyone who loves the show Once Upon a Time on ABC. This is similar in the aspect of the fairy tale kingdoms and the fairy tale princesses and the evil villains and stuff like that, but the storyline is completely different. Now let's get into the story. So this book, as I had said before, is about two twins who enter this magical world through a book, which is a portal activated by the girl twin. This place is called the Land of Stories. The twins grew up knowing about the Land of Stories. They knew about the fictional Land of Stories. They didn't know it was an actual place, and they loved it. One of the main reasons why the children loved the Land of Stories when they were small was because when they would go visit their grandmother, their father and their grandmother would get together and read to them the stories and act them out in different voices and in their situations of the characters. Well, now it's been a year since they've gone to visit their grandmother. They haven't visited their grandmother since their father died, leaving them alone with their mother and making them sell their old house, sell the bookstore that their father used to work in, which was owned by the Bailey family. Now they live in a rental home, and their mother's hardly home because she's a nurse and she works many shifts. The twins one day receive the book for their birthday by their grandmother, and then the next day when they go to school, it starts making sounds, and the twins realize that it's a portal. So when Alex goes home that day, she decides to start sticking in her hand little by little to see if it's an actual portal. And Connor at the moment is stuck in detention, but he realizes what his sister's gonna do, so he decides to leave detention and run home. And when he enters the room, he kicks the door open and he yells to Alex to stop doing what she's doing, and that causes Alex to get scared, and she falls into the portal and into the Land of Stories. Connor doesn't know what to do, so Connor decides to follow his sister down the portal and into the Land of Stories. At first, the twins are clueless as to where they actually are, but then when they see a sign that says Goldilocks wanted dead or alive, they realize that they have entered the Land of Stories. So when they realize that they have entered the Land of Stories, that is when the whole dramatic aspect of the book starts happening. This is like the climax and like into the end of the resolution. For the rest of the book, they go on the scavenger hunt for 8 items that they need to find the wishing spell. The frogman, Froggy, gives the journal to the kids, and they realize that it was written by a man who was also looking for the 8 items of the wishing spell in order to go and find the love of his life in the human world. But the thing is that Froggy and the 2 kids don't know if this man survived or if this man ever found his way back to the human world. So it's up to the kids to find the 8 items and to see if, after collecting all 8 items and combining them together, if it will actually take them back home. So these 8 items are scattered all around the fairy tale kingdom. So alongside with the journal, Froggy gives the kids a map of the whole fairy tale kingdom, and in the journal it tells you exactly where each item is located. The kids know, I think it's 6 that they know, but they don't know where 2 of them could be located at. What I really liked about this book is that once they enter the fairy tale kingdom and once they're given the journal with the map, each chapter from there on is a new hunt for the one of the new 8 items that they need to look for. These 8 items consist of the following. All these 8 items are located in different parts of the kingdom. Glass that housed in Lonely Soul up till Midnight's final toll. The glass shoe is obviously in Cinderella's palace. A saber from the deepest sea, meant for Groom's mortality. And the saber from the deepest sea is obviously where the mermaids live. The bark of a basket held in fright while running from a bark with fight. The basket is in Red Riding Hood's kingdom. A stony crown that's made to share, found deep within a savage lair. The crown is with the ogres. A needle that pierced the lovely skin of a princess with beauty found within. The needle is with Sleeping Beauty. A wavy lock of golden rope that once was freedom's only hope. Wavy lock is with Rapunzel. Glittering jewels whose value increased after preserving the false deceased. The glittering jewels is Snow White's coffin. Teardrops of a maiden's fairy, feeling neither magical nor merry. Teardrops of a maiden fairy is obviously found in the fairy kingdom. So alongside the 8 items that the kids need to find, they need to go and look for them in specific areas of specific kingdoms. What the twins don't know is that the evil queen is also in search for all the 8 items of the wishing spell, so she can bring back her long-lost love that was stuck in a mirror for decades. At the same time that Connor and Alex are looking for the 8 items, the evil queen has hired the Huntman's daughter to go and find all the 8 items to complete the wishing spell. What I also liked about this book is that not only did we get the princess stories, but we didn't get them as we grew up to learn them. We didn't get the Disney-fied version of the princess stories, which we all, as I said before, grown to love. But this is Chris Colfer's own take to the Brother Grimm's stories and someone else's stories that I don't know who. He mentioned it though, but I don't remember who. In this fairy tale kingdom, we have so many characters, but there is one character that I really didn't like, and that was Red Riding Hood. I really didn't like Red Riding Hood because to me, she seemed too stuck up. She seemed to me too more of herself, which I know was the point of the character. Like, I know that was Chris's point, as to make her stuck up and annoying at times, but I personally did not like her. I freaking loved Goldilocks. She was a badass. She's made so many mistakes in life that she's just amazing. I also really liked how Goldilocks and Jack from the Giant Beanstalk were like love interests in the book, and Red Riding Hood was like in love with Jack since they were little, and Goldilocks was tricked by Red Riding Hood to go meet Jack at some place, but Jack didn't know that because Red Riding Hood had written the letter as Jack, and then that's when Goldilocks became like a troublemaker because she said to go meet him at the bear's house, and that's when the bears got there. You know the usual Goldilocks story. I liked how in this book, the Little Mermaid was dead. She was a spirit. The spirit of the Little Mermaid helped Connor and Alex find that thing that they needed from the deep sea, which was actually in a pile of like needles or something like that. It was like this kind of rope. I don't remember the name of the rope, but it was like very deadly rope, and if you walked by it, it would like grab your foot and it would suck you into the floor and it would like kill you and you couldn't get out or whatever. But the way that Connor and Alex got it was that the Little Mermaid gave them shell necklaces. So of course, when they went to go get the thing that they needed from the hole, when they were going up, one of the necklaces ends up breaking and it falls to the floor and it breaks. And then that's when the vines are activated, because with the 2 shells intact, the vines were like, they couldn't move. But once that necklace broke, the vines like were grabbing Alex and Connor, and then the person who came to free them was Froggy. So when Froggy came back, that's when the wolf pack came in and kidnapped the kids, and that's when they took them to the evil queen, who was in her old castle where she grew up, waiting for them because she knew they had all the ingredients to the wishing spell. So once the queen captures Connor and Alex, she steals Alex's bag and she collects all the ingredients that the twins had captured for the wishing spell. Connor decides that he wants to throw his shoe at the queen when she picks up the fairy tear that's going to activate the wishing spell to make her get her love back. So when Connor throws his shoe at the queen's hand, the tear gets absorbed into the ground, and the queen starts telling the twins the story about her love life. The queen in her head starts thinking of ways that she is going to make Alex start to cry so she can get a tear. When Alex begins to cry after the queen has told her story, the queen gets the little bottle where they had the fairy tear, and she puts it under Alex's eyes and captures a tear, and when she pours it into the other 7 items of the wishing spell gets activated. The reason why Alex's tear worked is because Alex is half fairy because of her grandmother being Cinderella's fairy godmother. That is something I did not see coming in the book. That happens at the very end of the book when the twins realize that the way that they're going home is with the help of their grandmother opening a door that she uses to travel back and forth from world to world. Something I didn't see coming until a few pages before it actually happened was when Froggy became very nervous when they were invited to Cinderella's castle because Cinderella had recently had her baby, and he became very nervous, and that's when I realized that Froggy was actually the lost charming prince that they had thought was dead for many decades already. So overall, this book was really good. I gave it a 5 out of 5 star rating. I am going to continue reading the second book when I have a chance to go buy it. As of now, I'm going to start reading Dangerous Creatures, so stay tuned for that book review coming up next. Like, comment, and subscribe.
What can I say? What can I say about this book? So wonderful, so beautiful, so amazing, so readable.
I don't know what to say no more, and I lost my train of thoughts. Oh, Chris, Chris Colfer, please help me find some way to review your book. I don't know where I belong, but I'll be moving on. If you don't, if you won't.